Alright, so I hit you with the worst, and you know I gotta hit you with the best. So, let's get into it. The list of my top 5 favorite Marvel champions. Starting with Iceman. Honestly, Iceman was like the biggest swinger. I did not think I was gonna like Iceman at all when he first came out. Because here's the thing, I do not care for Iceman as a hero, but god damn is his kit so much fun. I love playing with his kit. Alright, there's so many things that he does that I like. I love when I draw a card and it's an ice trait and I'm like, yeah! And then I get to ready back up again because I defended. It's great. I love playing Frozen Solid because honestly, I think I would honestly say that I feel like Iceman is one of the strongest heroes in the game. I know it's a Spider-Woman is, but I feel like this is such a strong card because Frozen Solid stops the enemy from activating. And it gives them a Frostbite card, giving them -1 scheme and -1 attack. So if they do get a second attack in, guess what, motherfudger? It's -1. Alright? I love his +1 thwart, attack, defense. And I love the fact that even though you shuffle this card back into your deck, you can play it out in a way where you get to draw this card in like your first hand or so. I love his snow clones. They don't take any damage unless when they attack an enemy with Frostbite. So it's a constant 2 to 4 damage. I love Ice Wall. It's so strong. So strong. Like, it stops 8 damage. Alright. It's great. There's so many cards I love about Iceman, and I didn't think I would. I honestly did not think I was gonna like playing as Iceman, but holy crap, he has been so much fun, and I just feel like I have a good time whenever I play as him. So he is starting this list off. Now these 3 are interchangeable. Alright, this can be 5, 4, 3. You know what I mean? It could be like this or like this sometimes, depending. But let's get to the next one. I'm getting too excited here. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is one of, like, she's so good. She's so good. I love, first off, I love the fact that I love the Mystic trait. I feel like the Mystic trait has gotten a lot of support. You know, and I love the fact that she has Avengers. So she has access to a lot of Avenger cards, a lot of Mystic cards, and I just love it. You know what I mean? We got basic spell, and yeah, Strange could use it too, and magic, but I feel like Scarlet Witch is probably the strongest one, because she's able to just play around with the encounter deck by messing with the boost icons, and I feel it's just so good. Plus, she comes out with 2 thwart. There's just a lot of things that she does. You know, molecular decay, hex bolt. Like, it's so interesting to play a hero that messes with the encounter deck and goes, no, I need to make sure you have all the boost icons so I can deal damage to you. There's so much things I love about her. I don't know. It's fun. She's fun to play as. She's fun to use. I've played her in every aspect, and I've never had a bad time with her. So, she's gonna be at number 4. Next one. Alright. Y'all ready for this? Dun. X-23. Honestly, Wolverine and X-23 could be in this spot, alright? I love both of them as their character-wise, lore-wise, however you want to say it. Like, they're just amazing time to have, and I love their decks. You know what? Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm pulling out Wolverine too. Where'd you go to? There we go. Yes. Yeah. You know what? They get top 3. I don't know. They're just so much fun. Especially when you play them together. Don't worry, I got something fun coming for you guys. But I love their kits. I love the things they do. It's amazing. You know what I mean? They have a lot of cool cards. They can put out a lot of damage. It's probably not fair to be like, why didn't you just put it in the list? It's hard to pick. I've got in the top 10 lists, I probably got a lot, but I don't feel that it's fair to put X-23 and not Wolverine, because I love the way both of them work. Like, they're not, because here's the thing, right? When X-23 came out, I was like, oh, it's going to be another Wolverine Claw. And I couldn't have clone, and I was like, oh, I couldn't have been more wrong. She is not a Wolverine clone. She does her own things. He does his own things, and it's great. They're fun to play with. I love using them. And here's the thing, right? Like, I'm not a big X-Men aficionado, but their kits are like the biggest thing between like these 6 champions is their kits are so good. She has heals, she has attacks, she can deal 10 damage, she has extra ready ups. I mean, being able to just delete an enemy in one turn is sort of what you want to do. Because when you're playing against a villain or expert, you don't want to get to their stage 3 form and spend the next 5 turns trying to win. You want to win in the next 2 to 3 turns because chances are they have a bunch of BS going on and you don't want to. And you've seen the expert games I play. So you have seen the villains that come out at stage 3 and they just do all this extra stuff. And sometimes, they give you extra encounter cards and it can make or break you. Especially if you're playing with a hero that doesn't have the tools to be able to sort of weather that storm. Hawkeye. Who said that? Anyway, right, so these guys, these are all like the top 5, all right? I know there's 6. There's a tie somewhere in here, all right? Like, if I had a choice, I would probably put them all like this because these guys are I feel like they're so strong. And not only that, but their kit works together really, really well. And when you play them in different aspects, you just sort of win. Like, I know I do play him in Guardian, but I feel like there's so many aspects that he shines in. You're just like, it's good. The same thing with Scarlet Witch. There's a lot of things. And they have access to a lot of card pools. That just sort of like make them, like put them at a cut above the rest. Now, these 2 though, outshine these 4. Alright. Yeah, I said it. They're honestly both my number 1. I can't, I'm just going to say like somewhere over here is number 2. But these 2 are probably my favorite heroes in the game. And let's just get into it. So the first one is Ironheart. All right. I feel like when I play Ironheart, I feel like I'm having a great time because you start off weak and then you're just sort of building yourself up to your different versions. And then when you get to stage 3, the payoff for getting to stage 3 is worth it. All right. Maximum efficiency is such an amazing ability, and being able, right, to remove all these counters at one time. Remember what I was talking about when I said bursting down an enemy? Being able to deal 24 damage to an enemy because you've been saving up tokens and sort of stringing along the enemy in stage 2 and go, all right, I kill the enemy at stage 2, he comes in, I knock him out at stage 2, he comes in at stage 3 with 24 HP, and then I remove all these tokens off the field that I've got and knock him out in one shot. That's amazing. Like, you only play one stage of the villain when you're playing with Ironheart, because the next stage, you normally just one-shot them and just put them to sleep and win the game. And it's amazing. And another interesting thing about her is she has access to champions, which, again, if you remember my previous video, doesn't really have like a big card pool to pick from. But her cards are so good. Like, even her base kit just focuses on giving her counters. And here's the thing that I like about progress counters, right? They never stop being useful. Now, an example of this is if you've ever played, I don't have nothing that comes to mind right now. So here's what I'll do, right? So she has a bunch of cards. I'm going to use, where are you? Photon Beam, right? Whenever you deal damage to an enemy, you place 1 progress counter on Ironheart, and 2 progress counters if it defeats an enemy, alright? The reason I'm talking about this is because you have a lot of cards that help you build up progress counters, and they never stop being useful throughout the entire game. You always want to have more progress counters, because more progress counters means the game is going to be easy for you to win, and you're going to be able to slap things down and just do a whole bunch of nonsense. So this is why, like, Ironheart is like probably one of my top 1 favorite heroes. I love picking her. I love playing her because I know that I'm going to have a rough beginning, but I'm going to win. I know I'm going to win when I get to this form. It just might take a few more turns after that. But that's Ironheart. And now we talk about my favorite. All right, this is the Wolverine and this hero are the first two heroes I actually picked up when I started playing Marvel Champions. I saw them in the set. I was like, oh, what's this? And then I picked it up, and I didn't get the core box yet. And I was like, oh, what's this? I'm going to pick it up. And then I saw that, and I was like, well, I guess I need to buy the core box now. And then I went and I bought the core box, and then I realized I needed. And I was like, oh, okay, this is how I play this game. So, let me introduce you to Phoenix. Phoenix is... I don't think she's the strongest hero, but I think she's one of the most challenging heroes, alright? And because here's the thing, she doesn't do, like, she's not like, oh, I'm going to do 30 damage to you in one turn. That's not what she does. She's more like, I'm going to play with the villain, I'm going to unleash the Phoenix Force, and then I'm going to destroy you. And she has a lot of powerful cards. In this set, especially, I think, buffed her up. The X-Force set with Psylocke and Cable, I feel like they tremendously buffed her up because we got the Scimitar. We ended up with... we ended up with cards like Now I'm Mad. We just ended up with a lot of amazing cards sets, and I was just Cybo Attack. You know what I mean? We had a lot of good cards come in, especially the Power of the Mind. And I was just like, oh yeah, we've got to use this. Because a lot of her cards, especially the Power of the Mind, right? Because a lot of her cards have this psionic trait, even the cards in her kit. I'm sorry, I got to remember this is where the camera is. But even the cards in her kit, and this does 9 damage, alright? Her cards are so powerful when she gets unleashed, that it's just like, oh, I'm going to do Psychic Blast, and if I have the Unleash trait, not only will I do 4 damage to the villain, I'll do 4 damage to each minion engaged with me as well. And then we have Telepathic Trickery, which removes 4 threat from a scheme, and if I have the Unleash trait, I stun and confuse an enemy. So strong, alright? She has amazing cards. And here's the thing. These cards do not come without, like, they're negative. Because, again, if you have the Unleash trait, there's a strong chance you're going to see Dark Phoenix, right? Now, here's the thing. I didn't talk about this in a lot of the other decks because I don't feel like their obligations are like, You know what I mean? I don't really worry about that. But Dark Phoenix, I've played against Dark Phoenix so many times because she comes out when she doesn't need to. And it makes the game so much more interesting because now you have a villain. Well, now you have a minion with 12 HP, steady, toughness, and villainous. And sometimes you might even get Consume the World out. If there's threat placed on this scheme, if there's at least 12-3 right here, you lose the game. And the game just ends up taking this turn where it could be for the worse. But when you win, right? When you win and Consume the World is on the board and Dark Phoenix is on the board and you win the game, you feel like $1 million, okay? It feels great. It always feels great winning this Phoenix because I feel like she gives you a really tough board that you have to overcome. And if you can overcome it, you're going to be walking on cloud 9. And if you can't, you're going to be like, I did my best. But I never feel bad when I win or lose games with Phoenix. And I think that I just feel like I had a great time playing against her. Yeah, this is why, like, these two are my number one. Like, I know, like, she's not the strongest, but the games with her, I feel, are so interesting because she's not like Wolverine where the game feels like it's the same and you're just playing cards, or X-23. It honestly feels like you do get stronger, but if you get too strong, too fast or at the wrong moment, Dark Phoenix is going to come out and now you've got a whole list of problems. Ironheart, I know the first couple of games are going to be rough. You know what I mean? The first couple of turns with Ironheart, they're going to be rough. They're going to be, what am I doing? The next couple of turns after you upgrade, are going to be a little bit better. But when you get to your third form, this is when the game really like picks off for you when you're at your strongest. And I think that's what I like about these two the most is the games that you play with them just feel really interesting. And so yeah, this has been a list of my top 5. I gave you some negative stuff, and now I'm giving you some positive stuff. So I hope you all enjoyed my list. Remember to hit that like and subscribe. And have a good Christmas, y'all. I will catch you on the next one. Later.